Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about three main topics of C++. First one is C++ syntax. Then we are going to discuss about the C++ output, and then we are going to discuss about the C++ comments. So let's start this video with our first topic, that is C++ syntax. Okay. So first topic we are going to discuss is C++ syntax. In this, we are going to break down the basic C++ syntax. We are going to understand the syntax of C++ in a line by line order. For now, I am creating a basically I am creating a program, basic program of printing the hello world. So if you want to print the hello world program, so for first line you will write hashtag include iostream, hashtag include iostream, hashtag include iostream. So we are going to discuss each and every line on VS Code also. So this is our first line. Then on second line, you are going to type using namespace std, using name space std. Then in third line, you are going to create a function that is int main, and inside this function, erase this. This is a function, and inside this, you are going to print hello world. Out hello world, hello world. Then you are going to return a zero value. Okay, so let's understand this code in a proper manner. So whenever you are writing a C++ code, so this is a basic syntax. This is a basic syntax that you need to follow. In first line, you are including a header file. So this header file, this is called as, this is a line one. This is called as a header file. Header file. So this is a IOStream file. That means input output stream. So the name of the file is input output stream, and I'm saying hashtag include IOStream. So this is a header file that I want to include in my C++ program. In the similar way, you can have the different header files, but for this program, I want to use the IOStream. So I have included hashtag include IOStream. So this is called as a header file. Inside this header file, since this is an input output stream, so you will be having a default object. Default object means, let's consider I'm using the cout. This is a cout. This is cout. So this cout is defined, the functionality of the cout object. That means when cout says that whenever I want to print something on my output screen, I need to use the cout. So this cout is basically defined inside this header file. If I will remove this header file from my program, in that particular case, I will not be able to use the cout statement. I will be getting the error. Okay. So basically, this cout statement is defined inside this IOStream file. Along with the cout statement, there are multiple other objects and the statements defined inside the IOStream file. So this is a header file which I want to include inside my program. Okay. The work of this header file is basically, it is defining me multiple objects of the input output stream, and using those objects I can basically achieve the particular functionality. Like if I want to print something on the screen, I will be using this cout, and this cout says that I'm providing you a functionality. When you will use the cout statement, you can print anything on the output screen. So this is the purpose of the cout statement, and this cout statement is basically defined inside this header file, that is a IOStream file. Okay. So this is a basically this is about the IOStream file. Along with that, there can be the multiple header files. It is not only limited to the IOStream. Along with the IOStream, there can be the multiple others header file. Based on our requirement, we are going to choose which header file we need to include inside our program. So for this program, I simply want to print something on my output screen. So I want to use a cout object. This is a cout object. And if I want to use this cout object inside my program, in that particular case, I need to use this header file that is called as a IOStream file. Okay. This is our first line, that is hashtag include IOStream. Inside the IOStream file, there are multiple basically objects which you can use, and using those, you can basically achieve a particular functionality. Okay. Now coming to the next line, that is using namespace std. Basically, when I'm writing this using namespace std, I am saying that I want to use the standard name that are defined inside the standard library. Okay, so this is iostream is a library. I want basically inside this there are the multiple uh, objects like the cout, cin. Okay, and these names cout and cin are provided are already available inside this iostream file. So I am saying that I want to use the default name. I don't want to change anything inside these names. I want to use the default name, whatever the names is defined inside this iostream file. I want to use those names only. So using the second line, I am basically explaining my program or compiler that I want to use the standard name. If basically there is a cout statement, cout statement is basically used to print something on the screen, and this cout statement is defined inside the iostream file. iostream file. So using namespace std, using namespace standard, I am saying that I simply want to use the cout object that is defined inside the iostream file, and I want to use the default name. I don't want to change this to any other type. I simply want to use cout. Okay, the things will become much more clear when we will do the practical implementation. So using the namespace standard, I'm defining that I want to use the default name. I don't want to change anything inside the default name. So this is the purpose of the using namespace standard. If in case I will remove, let's consider I have let me first erase this. If in case I will remove this using namespace std, so what will happen? Let's consider I have crossed this line. I have not basically executed this line. So in that particular case, I will get the error inside my program because I am using a cout statement. I am using a cout statement, but my compiler is not aware about cout. What is the meaning of cout? So you might get the error like cout is not defined. Okay, because our compiler is not aware what is the meaning of the cout statement. So in that particular case, if I want basically if I want that I don't want to use this line that is using namespace standard. Still, I want to use the cout statement. In that particular case, I need to replace the cout with this particular line. That is standard colon colon and then cout. If I don't want to use the second line that is using namespace standard, in that particular case, every time I want to use any default object or method like the cout, cin or any other, I need to define this particular statement before this cout statement. Okay, so if in case I am using 500 cout statement inside my program, then I need to type this particular line 500 times inside my program. So the task will become too much complex. That's the reason we are defining this particular line. Let me erase this. So that's the reason we are defining that particular line, that is using namespace standard, and using this particular line only we are simply able to define all these as a default, that is cout, cin and the other statement. So that's the reason we are including the second line inside our program. Then coming to the third line, that is int main. So this is a main function. This is a main function. Main function. Okay. So inside this, we are writing our code. We are executing whatever we want to execute. We will write all those code inside our main function. So I simply want to execute this cout statement. So I have included the cout statement inside this particular int main function. So let me first erase this. I also need to include the colon over here. Okay. So inside this main function, I have included the cout statement. Cout statement is saying that I want to print the hello world inside my program. So this is the main function. Whatever you will include inside these curly braces, that will be executed by our compiler, and basically whatever you are including these inside these curly braces, that is inside the main function, and that will be executed by your compiler. Okay. Now coming to this particular line, that is a cout statement. Cout statement, I already have explained you that whenever you want to print something on your output screen, in that particular case you need to use a cout statement along with this particular sign, and this sign is called as an insertion sign. Okay, this is called as an insertion operator. This is insertion operator. I am using the cout statement along with the insertion operator to print hello world on the screen. Hello world is basically a string. A string means I am writing that thing inside the double quotes. So I want to print this string on my output screen. So I'm using a cout statement along with the insertion sign. So, and then I'm printing hello world. Now coming to the next line, that is return zero. Return zero. Okay. I'm defining return zero because this particular function, this is our main function which I'm defining, that is of the integer type. As you can see, the function I have defined, the main function I have defined is of the integer type. In that particular case, this function is saying that if I am of the integer type, that means I should return something from this function. So, but I don't want to return anything, so I'm defining I'm returning zero. So basically, this particular function is returning a zero value. After executing all the codes written inside this particular function, I'm simply returning a value that is a zero because it is of the int type. Okay. So I hope the things are clear to you now. Now we will be implementing the things on the VS Code so that you can get a clear picture what we have discussed till now. So let's move to the VS Code and let me explain you things on the VS Code. Let's move to the VS Code. So here I have created a file that is syntax and output. Okay. So let's type our first program, that means printing the hello world. So hashtag include, this is our header file, then iostream. io, as you can see, when I'm typing, there are the multiple header files which we can include. Based on our requirement, we are going to choose which file we need. So this time I don't want all these files, I simply want a file that is iostream. So if I will basically check here, there will be a file called iostream. Yeah, this one, iostream. So I'm going to type io. Okay, so I want to include this header file because I want to use the default object, that is a cout statement, cin statement. So these I want to use. I want to use the cout statement, cin statements. That's the reason I'm including this particular header file. If in case I don't want to use the cout statement, so there is no requirement of including this particular header file. Based on our requirement, we are going to choose which header file is basically necessary for me. So in this particular line, I want to use this particular header file. Then I am saying using namespace standard, namespace standard. Okay. Then I'm defining main function, that is int main, and inside this int main I'm typing cout statement. Cout is defined inside this particular header file, that is iostream file, and inside this I want to print a hello world. Hello world. Then this semicolon is also important, and then I am returning 0. Let me explain you this semicolon also. So basically this semicolon always define the end of that particular line, end of that particular statement. So when I am executing this, basically when I am writing the semicolon over here, that means we have ended this line. Now I want to move the execution to the next line. So by checking this semicolon, compiler will able to basically define that this is the end of the line. This is the end of the line, and the execution will move to the next line. Okay. So for this semicolon is used to define the end of the line. So that's the reason I'm using this semicolon to say that I want to end the line over here. Now I want to move the execution to the next line. Let's execute this program. The program is getting executed. So I am getting hello world on my output screen. Okay. So it's this, I already told you this cout statement is defined inside this iostream file. So let's remove this particular line from here. If I will remove this line and if I will execute this line this time, so I am getting cout was not declared. I'm getting an error, that is cout is not declared because our compiler is not able to define what is the meaning of cout. Compiler is not able to define that particular thing because cout statement is included inside the iostream file, but I have not included that file inside my program. That's the reason I'm getting a error over here. That means cout was declared in the scope. Let me again include the iostream file. Now if I will execute this, I will not get any kind of error. So this time program is getting executed and I am getting hello world on my output screen. Now let's discuss about the next possibility. let me remove the second line. So I have removed the second line over here, and if I will execute this thing again, so I am getting cout. I'm again getting the error. That means iostream file standard cout extern out. We are getting some error over here, and basically it is not able to basically get what is the meaning of cout. So for that, you can do the another thing, that is you can include std colon colon. In that particular case, I am saying that I want to use the standard statement. Let me execute this again. So it's taking some time to execute. So this time I am not getting error. It is basically printing the hello world, because I am saying that I want to use the standard cout statement that is defined inside the iostream file. But if in case I want to write the multiple cout statement, let's consider inside my program I want to write the 200 cout statement. So this thing is not feasible. You always need to include the std colon colon to define the standard functions. Okay. In that particular case, using this particular line, that is using namespace std, this namespace std is a better option as compared to you always using std colon colon whenever you want to use cout or any other standard statement. So instead of using std colon colon every time, simply include this particular line number second, that is using namespace standard. Basically you are using second line, you are saying that I want to basically use the standard name. That means cout is defined inside the iostream file, so this is a standard name, this is a default name inside this particular iostream file. So I always want to use standard names inside the file. So if I'm using the second line, I need not to use the std colon colon. Let's execute this again, and I am getting hello world on my output screen. If in case I will remove this colon sign, basically I am discussing each and every possibility inside the program. So if I will remove the semicolon sign, I will get the error, because and the error we are getting, it is saying, the compiler is saying I am expecting this colon sign before the return statement. Okay, I am expecting a colon sign before the return statement because of our compiler is not able to define where is the end of the line. So to define the end of the line, we need to use the colon sign over here. Okay, so this colon sign will basically say that this is the end of the line, and after that the compilation of the program must move to the next line. If I will execute this again, so I will be getting the hello world again on my output screen. So in this way, this is the basic syntax. If in case I will move this return statement to the same line, to the line number 4, so the compiler will be still able to detect the new line because of this colon sign. So when I will execute this program, because I have executed, basically I have written the colon sign over here, in that particular case the compiler will be able to define that this is the end of the line. Now I need to move to the new line, so using this colon sign. So in this case also I will not get any kind of error. So let's execute this. So I'm still getting the hello world as the output because of this colon sign. The compiler is able to define that this is the line end, and now I need to move to the next line. So this was about the basic syntax of C++ program. Now let's move to the next topic, that is C++ statements. C++, C++ statements. Okay. If I talk about the statements, so whatever your compiler is able to understand the basic definition of the statement. Let me first write the basic definition. So in any programming language, I'm not talking about the C++, I'm talking about any programming language. In any programming language, all the instructions, list of instruction, or all the instructions that a compiler or interpreter can execute, instruction to be executed by computer, to be executed by a computer It is called as a statement. So this is a basic definition. So whatever you are writing inside your program, let's consider this is your C++ script. This is your C++ program file. Inside this, you will be writing the multiple statements. In C++, always use compiler. We already have discussed. C++ always use compiler to basically execute these statements. So all those statements which a compiler can easily execute, which a compiler can convert into the machine code. So the work of compiler is to convert the code written in the English format to the machine code. Okay, machine code means like the code in the 1 and 0 format, 0 and 1 format. That is a binary format, so that our machine can easily understand that code. So all those lines which our compiler can understand, and after understanding those lines which the compiler can convert into the machine code, all those lines or all those things are called as a statement. Okay, so this is a basic definition of the statement. So in this program also, let's move to the VS Code. So line number 1 is also a statement, line number 2 is also a statement, because our compiler is able to understand those lines. This is line number 1, this is line number 2. So the compiler is getting, basically compiler is understanding those lines, and after understanding those lines, compiler is converting those lines into the machine code, that is a 1 and 0 format. So all these things are called as a statement. Line number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all these are statements. Okay, if I will remove this particular line, let's consider if I will remove the line number 5. Okay, so I will get the error. Obviously I will get the error over here. So let me execute this. The program is getting executed. Let's erase this and let me execute this again. I'm getting error over here because I have not defined I over here. This error I am getting. So basically each and every line which our compiler can easily understand and execute that line, that is called as a statement. Okay, so this is a basic definition of the statement. Now let's move to next topic, that is C++ output. C++ output. This thing we already have discussed, but I will explain you using a particular program. Now let's move to that, directly move to the VS Code. So here I am removing this particular program, and here I am writing that particular program again, so that you can get the understanding of that particular program again. So here I am including a header file that is called as iostream. Then I'm saying I want to use the standard name, using namespace std, that I want to use the standard name. Then int main is our main function, and inside this I am writing cout hello world, hello world. And then to define the end of this line, I am using a semicolon sign. Then I am printing another cout statement. Inside this another cout statement, I am writing I am learning C++ programming language. So these I have used the two statements. So still if I will execute this program, I will get the error. The reason is I have not used the colon sign over here, semicolon sign over here. So for this I need to use a semicolon sign, and then I am using return 0. Let's execute this program. The program is getting executed. It basically I am using the two statements, that is line number 4 and line number 5. In line number 4 I have printed the hello world, and then in line number 5 I have printed the I am learning the C++ programming language. But the problem is that basically what output we are getting, the output hello world, I am learning the C++ programming language, but both the output lines are combined into the single line. Okay, I am getting a single line as an output, but I have written the code in the multiple line, but still I am getting the output in a single line. So for that we need to use a line break. Line break means, that means I need to define that I want to move to the next line, so that our compiler can easily understand that, and after understanding that particular statement, the compiler will basically write the code from the next line. So let's understand how you can move the code to the next line. So this is C++ new line. C++ new line means, let's consider you are having the multiple cout statement, and now you want to print those cout statement into the new lines. New lines means, let's consider I'm having first cout statement which is printing the hello world. Hello world. Then I'm having another cout statement, that is I am learning C++. But if I will execute the program, what output I will get? I will get the output in this format. That means, hello world, I am learning C++. I will get this output. And what output I want? I want the output in this format. That means, since I have used the first cout statement, so I want hello world in one line, and from next line I want to write this statement. That means I am learning C++. I am learning C++. But by default I am getting this particular output. So for moving the text, or for moving the statement from to the next line, we need to use some statements. Okay, so the first way to move the code to the next line is using a new line character, that is /n. That means what you need to use, first you will be typing, like you will be writing the cout statement, that is cout, and in this you will be using the hello world. Hello, this is a string hello world, and inside this string you will be using a new line character. That new line character is like \n. So this \n is a default character. Me erase this double quotes, the green side. So this is called as a new line character. This is new line character, and it is having a default meaning. Okay, so once your execution of program will move to this particular statement, this particular character, the compiler will be able to understand. The execution will move to the compiler, and the compiler will check, okay, I am getting a new line character over here. So after this, whatever I will get, I need to move that print statement to the next line. So if in case I will write the cout statement, another cout statement, that means C++. Okay, so because of this new line character, the compiler is going to write this particular line to the next line. So what output I will get? I will get the output as hello world, and then C++. But if in case I will remove this new line character from here, so in that particular case I will get the output as hello world C++. Okay, so using this new line character, you can basically print the cout statement. You can print the whatever you are printing inside the cout statement to the new line. Let's execute this. So this is the first way. This is first way of moving to the new line, or moving to the new line. First way, or you can say first method. Let's implement this. So here I am simply removing this code. I'm again and again removing this code, because when you will execute the things again and again, you will get much more clarity, and you will get much more understanding. So again I am writing the same program. That means I am including a header file, #include iostream. This is the header file. Then using namespace standard, then int main. This is the main function. Inside this I am writing the cout statement, which is printing hello world, hello world. Okay. And then cout, I am learning C++. I am learning C++ programming. Okay. If I will save this program, if I will execute this program, so obviously I will get the output as both the combined statement. Let's execute this. So I am getting the output as hello world, I am learning C++ programming, but both the lines are combined into a single line. But I don't want to get the output in this particular manner. I want that those particular two lines must not be combined, and I want to get the output from the new line. I want to get the output of the line number 5 from the new line. So for that, I need to use a new line character. Means backslash. Oh, I need to use a backslash n. So you can use a backslash n. I'm not able to type the backslash over here. Uh, Let me check just a minute. It's not working for me. You can type the backslash over here. Let me show you in an online compiler. Okay, so for this you can do the practice by yourself. You can simply type a backslash n sign over here. I already have explained you. This is backslash n, and your output will move to the next line. Now let's move to the another way of writing the code. Basically, another way of moving to the new line. So the another way says that you can use the endl. So this was the first way. The second method says instead of using this particular backslash n sign, you can use and l. And in C++ program, we mostly use this and l sign instead of this backslash. Okay, so we always use this and l manipulator as compared to the backslash n sign. So let's move to the second method. Let's implement the second method. What I'm writing, I'm saying that after the line number 4, I want to print all the statement to the new line. So I will use and l. Okay, in this way I will use the insertion operator, and after the insertion operator I will use the and l manipulator. Let's execute this line. Let's execute this program. So the program is getting executed. As you can see, this time I am getting the output as hello world. I am learning C++ programming. Okay, but this time I am learning C++ programming from the new line because of this particular manipulator, that is and l. If I will remove this, I will again get the output in the same line. I'm again getting the output in the same line. That means hello world, I'm learning C++. Okay, and this particular space I'm getting due to this thing. If I will remove this space, I will not get the space on my output as well. This time I am not getting any space in my output. As you can see, hello world, and then I am learning C++. But if I want to add the space, I can simply add a space over here, and that space will be added on my output as well. Okay, moment, I'm getting, let me execute. Yeah, as you can see, this time this space is also included. This particular space on the line number 4 is included, and first I'm getting hello world, then a space, and then I'm learning a C++ programming. Okay, but if I want to move to the new line, then I need to use the and l manipulator. And throughout the series, instead of the backslash n sign, I will be using the and l to move to the new line. So we are in this, we have discussed the multiple thing in this video about the C++ syntax, about the understanding about C++ syntax, then the C++ statements, then C++ output, and the new line character. So in next video, we will be discussing about the comments. Let me explain the comments in this video, and in next video, we will be discussing about the variables. So comments are the very simple thing, because comments is very simple topic. Comments, basically, you will be writing some lines to increase the understanding of the code. Let me explain you the comments. So the next topic is C++ comments. Okay. So comments are basically added. So using the comments, you can make the code more readable and understandable. Okay. So that if any other user or any other engineer is going to read your code, the person will get the better understanding of your code. Okay. So if you want to add a comment, And comments are always ignored by your compiler. Whatever you are writing inside the comments part, that thing will be ignored by your compiler. So if I want to write a comment, so for comment can be of two types: single line comment or multi-line comment. Multi-line comment, single line comment and multi-line comment. Single line comment, you simply want to comment a single line. So for commenting a single line, you can use a double backslash. Okay, using this, you can comment a single line. If in case you want to add a multi-line comment, in that particular case, let's consider I want to comment line number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to comment all those lines. So I will use the sign in this way: backslash, asterisk, and then in the end, asterisk, backslash. Okay, so this is a multi-line comment. Let's execute this. So on this, let's consider I want to comment this particular line only. So as you can see, this is a single line comment. That's the reason I have added the double backslash sign over here. Double backslash sign. Let me remove this. So if I want to add single line comment, I can simply use the double backslash. And if I will save this, and then I'm basically executing the program. So I'm learning the C++ programming, but line number 4 is not getting executed because it is a comment. It is a comment. Okay. So the line which is commented will be ignored by your compiler. This particular line is simply for the understanding purpose. Let me remove this. For understanding purpose means let's consider I want to comment the line number 1. So I will write that this is a header file. This is a header file. So it is basically making our code much more understandable. In second line, I'm saying I want to use the standard names. Okay. Then third line, I'm saying this is a main function. This is cout statement. Okay. If I will execute this, so as you can see, all those comments are simply going to be ignored by the compiler. All the commented part is ignored by the compiler. That particular comment is simply for the understanding purpose. Okay, so this is called as a single line comment. Let me remove all those comments. And if in case I want to basically comment the multiple lines, let's consider I'm having a multiple cout statement. Now if I will execute this, I will get this particular line printed multiple times. Let's execute this. So I'm getting, as you can see, I'm not using any endl operator. That's the reason I'm getting every output in a single line. But if in case I will use the endl, I will get the data from the new line. Let me use the endl, and this line also I want from the next line, endl, and then endl, in this line. Okay. This is our program, then endl. Let's save this. Let's execute this. So this time I will be getting the output in the multiple line because of this endl manipulator. So I'm getting hello world because of line number 5. Then due to line number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I am learning C++ programming language. If in case I want to comment line number 8 till line number 11, so instead of making like this is a single line comment. Okay, but if in case I want to basically comment the multiple lines, so I will not use a single line comment. I will simply use a multi-line comment. Multi-line comment means I already told you, like this asterisk sign. So I will use backslash. I want to comment from line number 8, then asterisk. Okay, and I will cut this, and I will add this over here. Control Z, then asterisk backslash. Okay, all those lines will be commented. So if I will execute this, so this time I will get hello world, and I am learning C++ 2 times. So this time, as you can see, I am getting hello world, and then I am learning C++ programming, and I am learning C++ programming. So I'm getting the output on the line of the line number 6 and line number 7, but line number 8, 9, 10, 11 is commented. Now I'm telling you the shortcut. Let's consider I want to add the comment to a particular line. So what I will do, I will simply basically select that particular line which I want to comment, and then I will simply press the control and forward backslash. Okay, and that particular line will be commented. So the shortcut for making a comment in VS Code is to use control plus forward slash. And first you need to select all those lines which you want to comment, and then you will be using this particular command, that is control forward slash, and all those lines will be commented. If in case, let's consider I want to comment all those lines from line number 6 to line number 11 as a comment. So I will first select all those lines. I have selected all those lines. Now I will simply press the control and forward slash, and all those lines are commented in a single go. Okay, so this is the best way of making the comment. So this time I will be getting the hello world as the output. I'm getting the hello world as the output. In this way, you can make the comments inside your program, and comments are always just for the understanding purpose. So in this video, we have discussed the multiple topics like the C++ syntax, C++ statements, C++ output, new line character, and comments in C++ programming language.